everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a review on the Benefit Boi-ing Cakeless Concealer. If you do want to see a review and a demo, please keep watching. Here's a closer look on what the packaging looks like. It says Benefit Boi-ing Cakeless Concealer. When you flip it over to the back, it tells you a little bit about this concealer. This concealer retails for $22 on Ulta, Sephora, and Benefit's website. It does say here on the back, full coverage, cover more, cake less. Full coverage liquid concealer hides it all, from dark under eye circles to blemishes and discoloration, yet it feels lightweight and doesn't cake or crack. It's supposed to be 24-hour long wear and waterproof. That is super interesting. I do want to read a little bit about this concealer on Ulta.com. It does say Benefit Boi-ing Cakeless Concealer is a multi-purpose, full coverage liquid concealer that hides it all, from dark under eye circles to blemishes and discoloration, yet it feels lightweight and doesn't cake, crack, or settle into fine lines. The formula includes algae-derived ingredients known for smoothing the look of skin, specially coated pigments that leave a natural finish that doesn't flake or crease. The cushion tip applies the long-wearing and waterproof formula evenly for blendable full coverage. Shade range is not that great. It only comes in 12 different shades. I purchased shade number 9. It's supposed to be medium tan and it's a warm undertone. I'm not sure how this concealer is going to perform. This concealer has a ton of claims, so let's go ahead and open this up. How cute is the packaging? It's got this little eraser. It's so adorable. Let's see if this concealer is the correct shade. I guess this would be a good shade for me. You do get 5mm of product or 0.17 fluid ounces. I already primed and moisturized my skin. For moisturizer, I went in with this Verse Gel Moisturizer. For primer, I went in with my Bobbi Brown Face Base Primer. I don't have it with me right now. It's currently in the bathroom. I forgot to bring it in this room, but that's what I currently have on my skin. I do want to try out the concealer without any foundation on, just to see how the concealer performs throughout my day. Tomorrow, when I do use this concealer, I will be applying it using my favorite foundation, and then we'll just use it throughout the entire week, and then we'll see how it goes. So let's go ahead and apply this concealer. Let's do 3 dots like I normally do. For the right side of my face, I'm going to be blending out the concealer using my damp beauty blender. Gonna see how creaseless, full coverage, 24-hour this concealer is. The concealer blended out into nothing. I'm just going to be taking a regular eyeshadow brush. We'll just blend out the concealer underneath this eye. We'll see how much coverage we get. You don't have to use an under eye concealer brush. You can use any brush that you have on hand. I love to use an eyeshadow brush. It's just easier. You might experience some streakiness. I do have to go over it using my damp beauty blender. Is that I am getting some coverage using this eyeshadow brush versus the damp beauty blender side, which did soak up the majority of the product. I'm gonna go over this, apply 3 more dots underneath each eye. There we go, we're getting some coverage now. The streakiness is there. We'll just go back under it using my damp beauty blender, and let's cover up this discoloration I have on my nose. I think this shade would match. On camera, it's looking very yellow. I feel like it'll look good on top of foundation for tomorrow when we test this out together. I'm taking the concealer on my eyelid just to cover up some discoloration. I might as well just use the concealer as foundation. Let's try that. It's not meant to be foundation. I consider Benefit a high-end brand. I mean, it's definitely not drugstore. It's $22. The blendability is really nice. Taking whatever excess product and just fanning it out. So far so good, you guys. I'm loving how the concealer blends out really nicely. It's not full coverage in my opinion, but we can build it up to full coverage, which we are going to be doing soon. The doe foot applicator is very stiff. I'm going to let the concealer sit for a little bit. In the meantime, let's apply some mascara. I'm just using the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. Taking my damp beauty blender again, blending this out. Now I'm seeing the coverage that I like. I already noticed that I am experiencing some crease on my eyelid. It's definitely not creaseless. I'm gonna go over it one more time, right where this dark spot is, a little bit here. Going back and using that eyeshadow brush and just doing a patting motion. We'll just use our damp beauty blender to go on top of it once more. Do like the shade number I chose in number 9. Benefit needs to come out with more shades. 12 shades is not enough. I definitely think it needs at least 20 shades just for everyone to be included. I don't think Benefit is inclusive in my opinion. You guys have been DMing me about this concealer. Of course, I will be testing anything you guys want. Any requests, please let me know in the comments down below. I will try my best to get a video up for you, purchase the product. If I end up loving the product, it's because of you guys. Do you guys see how it creased on my lid? Might have to just set that with a tiny bit of powder. I'm just gonna be using my Too Faced Peach Perfect setting powder. Should I just set one eyelid and then leave the other eyelid? Let's actually do that. Let's see how that works out. We'll leave my left side. We won't put any powder on it. Let's actually set this entire side, and then on my left side we won't set it. Taking a little bit of my Too Faced Peach Perfect setting powder. I'm gonna be taking a little bit on my damp beauty blender like so, setting the concealer. Here's what the concealer is currently looking like. The left hand side I did not set with powder. And then the right hand side we set with a little bit of the Too Faced Peach Perfect setting powder. The concealer did dry down on the back of my hand, so I do want to apply a fresh swatch. It dried down a little bit darker when we first applied it. I will check back in with you guys at the end of the night to see how this concealer does perform, and I will see you guys then. Hey guys, so it is the end of the night of me testing out the Benefit Boi-ing Cakeless concealer. Here's what the concealer is currently looking like. Concealer did crease underneath my eyes. I'm gonna look up so you guys can see. I am extremely oily at the end of the night. On the left hand side, since we did not set the concealer with any powder, I am more oilier than I am on the right hand side because we did set that side. I do want to do a little bit of blotting on the left hand side just to see how much concealer does come off. Here's how much concealer came off on the left hand side of my face. I will not be using this concealer as foundation again. It just doesn't work out for me. Tomorrow I am going to be testing out this concealer with my favorite foundation. My first impressions on this concealer is that I don't really like it so far. It did crease underneath my eyes. The only thing that I do like about this concealer is that the shade does match me, and it did kind of brighten up underneath my eyes. We will see how this concealer does perform tomorrow, and I will see you guys then. Hey guys, so it is day 2 of me testing out the Benefit Boi-ing Cakeless concealer. I already primed and moisturized my skin. I already have my foundation applied. For foundation, I currently have on my Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Foundation. So now let's go ahead and see what the Benefit Boi-ing concealer in the shade number 9 looks like on top of the foundation. Again, I'm just gonna do my 3 dots like I normally do. We'll see how much coverage we get. So I'm just gonna be using my damp beauty blender, and we're just gonna blend this out. Here's what one layer of the concealer looks like. I do want to build up the concealer, so we're going to add a second layer. The same thing, 3 little dots, and then blend it out. Here's what the second layer looks like. I do want to set this concealer with a little bit of the Too Faced Peach Perfect setting powder. I'm going to tap some on the cap. We're just going to use this tiny bit. We're just going to set underneath the eye. Same thing, taking a tiny bit. I applied 2 coats of the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. Here's a final look on how the concealer looks like. I will check back in with you guys at the end of the night to see how the concealer performs, and I will see you guys then. Hey guys, so it is the end of the night of me testing out the Benefit Boi-ing Cakeless concealer. Here's what the concealer is currently looking like. I loved how the concealer wore throughout my entire day. It didn't bunch up on me. It didn't crease on me like I thought it would. It just creased a little bit underneath my eyes. Even though we did set this concealer with setting powder, it looked really good throughout my entire day. I also do want to mention to you guys, I did not blot throughout my entire day. I think it held up pretty well. I will check back in with you guys at the end of the week to let you guys know my final thoughts on this concealer, and I will see you guys then. Hey guys, so it is the end of the week of me testing out the Benefit Boi-ing Cakeless Concealer. Overall, my final thoughts on this concealer is that I really did enjoy it throughout my entire week. It did brighten up underneath my eyes, but it did tend to crease as well. After setting this concealer with my favorite setting powders, it just still creased on me. So that's something I did not like. Another thing that I did not like about this concealer is the wand was so stiff. Every time I applied my concealer, I'm not sure if it was me, but it's still stiff as I applied it just now on the back of my hand. It's so stiff, even though it looks like it does move, but it's very stiff, and I feel like it does help move the product around. My under eye is so sensitive, so each time I was applying the concealer underneath my eyes this entire week, it just felt a little bit like I was poking myself in the eye. What I was doing instead is just taking a little bit of the concealer on the back of my hand, taking a little bit of an eyeshadow brush, using that eyeshadow brush just to place the concealer underneath my eyes. Since I was not able to do the 3 little dots, I just took a little bit from the back of my hand, just like so. I applied 3 little dots, and then I blended it out using this eyeshadow brush or my finger throughout my entire week. I would highly recommend you guys checking out this concealer if you can find it in your shade. That's another thing about this concealer, is that I don't really like the shade range. Benefit could expand their shade range in this collection because it's super small. If you guys did enjoy this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe. I will see you guys in my next video.